I am getting so tired of this. There we go. I am getting so tired of every time I turn my computer on, it seems to turn things off. I thought I went through the whole show, got it all prepared, had everything ready, but apparently I didn't see the audio. Thank you for the quick pickup. Let's start that one over again. You want to just start over from scratch? This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Shaun Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pit Stop, where you, the pit crew, you are the real star of today's show, and thank you for being here to talk about sim racing, which I love doing. Happy Memorial Day to everybody out there. So if you're in the United States, today is a holiday. Happy Memorial Day. If you're across the rest of the world, just know that all your American friends have the day off. And I want to thank everybody in the military services for your service, for coming to the defense of our country. And I do appreciate that, past, present, and future. So thank you to all those people who served and in some cases given up their lives for our country. And I really do appreciate that effort. So happy Monday to everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. It was such a cool weekend. So many things going on. I mean, I had endurance practice Saturday and Sunday. I was working on getting the stream right. I think I finally, speaking of sound, I think I finally got my stream set up right for solo races. I still have a little bit of a problem with the endurance team and doing everything that I wanted to do. It could have been that cranky. I changed settings, and every time, this stream is one setup. When I'm doing a stream with Billy on Fridays, that's a different setup. Obviously, when I'm racing, that's a different setup. So many different configurations don't really help. And, I am all alone. It's not like I have a production staff who comes in and gets everything at the ready and I just walk in. On top of that, I'm always gathering the news and looking for things to talk about here on the show. So I do have a lot on my plate prior to the show. And I guess that gives me a little bit of wiggle room for the amount of mistakes I make when it comes to things like audio and video. But again, thank you for being here. Also, in addition, this weekend, it wasn't just about me and endurance racing and streaming. It was also about, look at Sunday. What a day Sunday was. If you're a racing fan, Sunday, I think at the beginning of the year, me and Billy had talked about what were the races that you have to put in your calendar? Like, if you were just, if you were going to put a line through certain dates on the calendar and say, look, mom, look, wife, look, girlfriend, look, kids, I'm not available because, well, yesterday was one of those days. Things kicked off with Monaco, the Monaco Grand Prix, Formula One. I don't really want to play spoiler. I don't know if anybody and everybody's actually watched the show, if they're going to. So I'm not going to talk a whole lot about real-life racing. But, my day yesterday was awesome. I had Monaco in the morning. I did some endurance practice. I did it really quickly and got it done. And then I got on to watching the Indy 500, which was such an awesome race. Or at least I thought so. And then that finishes with the Coca-Cola 600, which was also quite entertaining. So I found myself watching racing from the moment I woke up almost to the moment that I went to bed, and at the same time, I got to do some driving for myself. The only thing that I think would have made it better had I been able to do some racing in what I was watching. So if I'd actually run a Monaco Grand Prix, or if I'd actually run the Indy 500, something to kind of tie into what I had been watching, but I was in fact running in the BMW at Le Mans. So, anyway, that was my weekend. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I had said there wasn't going to be a show today, but then I figured, there's actually a fair bit of news to talk about, and I wanted to promote our contest one last time because Friday will officially be the cutoff for our contest. So let's get on with the news. Let's talk about sim racing and see what's actually going on. And I just realized that I have the wrong Stream Deck loaded. One more failure. Install. Remind me later. Just give me my Stream Deck. Let me put it on the pit stop. And now everything should work. Wow, so many things screwed up today. Sorry about that, you guys. We are live. Let's bring that thumbnail down and talk about the news. Hey there, Lionheart. Lionheart made it down where? Where'd you make it down to? Automobilista 2? I did not see Automobilista 2, Jody. We talked about them talking about Automobilista 2, We talked about the DLC pack from Riza Studios for R Factor 2. No, Jerry, I did not watch the Formula E. Yeah, Brad, I agree. That's a good assessment of it. Yeah, wasn't a great, Joe, didn't it make for a great day? I mean, yesterday was just a truly great day to be a racing fan and to sit at home all day and watch TV. And like I said, whoever your friends, family, and loved ones are, get them out of the house, get out of my way, don't interfere with what I'm doing today. All right. Williams Esport posted, and iRacing reposted this, but Williams Esport went on to win the 24-hour, it wasn't the 24-hour, this was the BMW 120, so 2-hour race, and their two drivers, Alexander Voss and Lauren Henrich, were the two winning drivers. So William Esport stretching their legs at iRacing and showing off what they could do in what became a pretty big deal event. Oh, you scored some last-minute tickets to the 500. That's awesome. That's awesome. I went to the 500 once. Gosh, it had to have been about 8 years ago. It was awesome. It might have been longer than that. I'm trying to think back. Danica was even running back when I went to the Indy 500. It might have been more like 12 years ago. Yeah, Indy 500 is quite an event. It's, if you have the means to get to it one year, it is a race worth going to, for sure. Joe McDonald does look great using the PC2 engine, but Automobilista physics. Aha. No, how did I miss the Automobilista? Let me try to track that down before we go. If anybody has a link, you can post it in there. Any of the Discord guys can post it in the main channel. That would be super easy for me. What else? I don't think I had anything else that I really talk about. Somebody here posting a picture of running the Coca-Cola 600. You know, again, that running the real life or watching the real life version and then taking it to our sim and being able to experience it firsthand for ourselves is always cool. Oh, Grant, I wish I could have made it out there for it. Yes, absolutely. That would have been awesome. I don't know how I missed the AMS announcement. I thought I had that on my radar. Apparently not. We'll give that a look here. Actually, let's go ahead and Twitter. Let's try this. Automobilista. Nope. Automobilista 2. Look at that. Thank you. See, you know, at the beginning of this show, well, at first I was muted for it, but after I got the audio going, you guys are the real star of today's show. That is exactly why I say that each and every day. It's not just when you guys give me the stories live, like this one that we're just finding right now, but it's also the amount of stories that get sent in to me. A lot of people send it to me via, whoops, sorry, bumped the mic. Thank you, Tofi. Thank you, Devin. A lot of people send me stories in my email. A lot of people post stories on our Discord chat. And a lot of you guys bring them up during the show. And I definitely appreciate that. Just because, again, we're here to talk about sim racing. So, again, here is the Automobilista announcement. With the little video as well. I'm going to hit play on the video real quick, and we'll watch this. You'll find this at the Riza Studios website in their forum. Automobilista 2 is the culmination of a project developed over the course of nearly a decade. So they're talking about all of their past efforts. At its core, it's a comprehensive simulation of the Brazilian motorsport scene, and that's what's always been really interesting about Automobilista. They've been very, very focused on that Brazilian automotive culture, and you know, every country has cars that are kind of unique to their country. Even when you look at like a company like Chevrolet, where like they have the certain amount of Chevys, but like, you know, that Holden El Camino truck was never available to us, and that's a Chevy product. Anyway, so this, what it is, a little bit focused. It's a little bit because it's always gone beyond, oh, look at the super truck. Did you see the super truck? We have another super truck to talk about today as well. The original Senna, or not original, but the Senna McLaren. But I guess the big news, because if you think about it on Friday's show, or all the speculation that I've had at least, was I had assumed that Automobilista 2 was going to be based on R Factor. I mean, that to me was kind of a no-brainer. They were one of the best R Factor content providers, or modders, or whatever you want to call them. And then they even did the latest, greatest pack for R Factor 2 that just came out very recently. But what's really interesting here is that it's being built on the Project Cars, the Madness engine, which is really interesting. Now, I did see an announcement a while back about Project Cars, the next version, being on their next gen of the Madness engine. So I think John mentioned that it was actually the PC2, Project Cars 2 engine that it'll be based on. So Automobilista, you're going to have a little bit of flavor from Risa in both the form of R Factor and the form of Project Cars, but, cloaked in the Risa content, like you mentioned, the physics. Risa with Automobilista 1, and one of the things that made it so great, love or hate the content, was the way they had massaged other things like the physics. It was one of the best driving variations of R Factor you were going to find. All of their cars had some very high quality physics to it. And so, yeah, anyway, that's great news. Great news. Thanks for the pickup there. Thanks for the pickup on that, you guys. Modding. That's a great question. They mention anything about modding? I'm a little late on this story, obviously. I don't know, but modding is a little different. I mean, if you're using the Project Cars 2 engine, modding isn't nearly as, happening. It's not based on modding like an R Factor is. All right, what else do we have to talk about? Just a quick mention, two things here. Here's my buddy Camille Franchak. He actually did a hot lap at Paul Ricard. So at Raceroom, you'll find it. Looks like it's on YouTube also. So you could just click to that. But this is one of the best sim racers on Earth, taking us around Paul Ricard. And that's good. In addition to that, just a reminder, 2 days? Are we 2 days? My clock says today is the 27th. In 2 days, we're going to see Assetto Corsa Competizione. So not much more waiting. All the speculation, all the talk. We're finally going to get to find out one way or another what Assetto Corsa Competizione is really like, and really experience it firsthand and be able to run it against others and all that kind of stuff. Excuse me. What else to talk about? Project Cars, the SMSR Pro Champions are VP Gaming. So over at their website for Project Cars, they have a write-up talking about these guys. Their names from left to right: Darwin Dwame, Johan Isaac, 21, Johan in the middle, and Isaac, 21 on the right. Nice gamer tags. At least Darwin Doham kind of gave a name up a little bit. Anyway, those are the champions of the SMS series, and we've talked about that, but here's some cool pictures of the guys and a good write-up at Project Cars about their efforts there. Dirt Rally just had a thing going on. Not really big news, but like here's John Armstrong, who we've seen him rally race, but he's one of the heads over with the Dirt Rally team, talking about what they got. They got a whole thing set up at Silverstone with people coming by and driving sims. Obviously, this is just a cell phone video, not the highest of quality. But that was going on, so anybody who was out there at Silverstone this weekend would have been able to. This is their little, what did they call it? They had a name for their little dirt area. What did they call it? Dirt Rally. Speed Machine Garage is where they were hanging out doing that. F1 games from Codemasters. The F1 Esport qualifying races are nearly here. Who will be heading to the Pro Draft? Make sure you watch on F1Esport.com this week. PS4, PC, and Xbox race. And there are the times, May 27th, May 28th, and May 29th are the qualifying races. I might have some content coming up with F1 coming up very soon here, as a matter of fact. Little hush, secret, nudge, wink, wink. Know what I mean? Not going to tell you any more than that right now, but you guys know I might be doing something more with F1 2018. Just a little something. Raceroom. This is cool. So Raceroom's been promoting some of their latest content coming. And in this one, they talk about the sounds. When we did our Sim Pizza poll, if memory serving, I believe that Raceroom did very well in the sound category. Anyway, they're showing off their latest, greatest sound. So here's their FR90, their Formula One car, essentially. What year would that be? You probably know it by the size of the motor. Formula Raceroom, they're calling it, the 90. Does that mean it's a 90? Can we hear it? Can we get some sound, Shaun? That would be cool. We talked about sound. Can we get some sound? Can you guys hear that? Bear with me. We're going to work on this. There we go. Gotta love those sounds. You do. I'm sorry to just blow your ears out with my pumped up there, but I gotta tell you, when it comes to sim racing, when it comes to immersion, when it comes to the things that really suck me into the game, it's the quality of the sound is very important, but I have to admit, and this is one of those things we talk about Formula E all the time, certain motors make me really, really, really want to drive. They're just, you know, whether you're talking about like a heavy cammed V8 thumping away, whether you're talking about like a Formula One type car, those noises, those sounds, they make me want to drive. They pump me up. They get me excited. And that's very important to me when it comes to racing, both real life as a fan, also in sim racing as you know, what do I want to drive? Another hot lap. This is Gran Turismo this time around, and we're getting a chance to watch Williams George go around Tokyo Expressway. So you'll find that at the Gran Turismo page if you're just looking for, again, always looking for tips. We always talk about coaching. We always talk about getting better. You know, now you know, this is one of the best ways. Look at how somebody else is driving. Would help if it wasn't a bumper cam. It might be a little more comparable to what I'd be driving. But there you go. You'll find that at GT Sport. Beats Jeff Cammon's GP4 sound. That was a long time ago. Long time ago. Sounds better than golf, absolutely. Shahid Awan. I am using Ricmotech Real Gear GT Pro pedals. I like them a lot. I mean, high-end pedals. I really enjoyed the HPP pedals. And I also enjoyed the Wave Italy pedals. Then you're getting into a hydraulic versus load cell question. Those are three great brands. You'll find all of those reviews here at the Simpit if you want to know more about any of those pedal sets for sure. Grant's got his sparkly new silver Formula rim. Very cool. All right, what else do we have to talk about today? Fanatec had a post. Somebody every day somebody asks me, what's up with the Fanatec software? I don't have an answer. Still have not. You know, I'm a little back and forth on the review. Like, I have a podium wheelbase here, and I've driven on it plenty, and then I took it off my rig because I'm now kind of waiting on the software. I'm like, well, I don't know if this is working optimally. Like, yes, I physically have the wheel, but I don't know if this is exactly how it's going to perform. Now, do I do two reviews without the software? Here's my review. I did plenty of driving videos. We talked about the way it worked. You know, you guys seen it cut my hand. You've seen me use it and talk about it, but I didn't do a review. But again, I'm waiting on that software. No word. Anyway, so there's a post that came out on the 24th. Pro race car driver Philip Eng and Team Redline drivers and Enzo Benito and Mikhail Hazal give us their first impressions of the Podium direct drive systems, plus bonus interviews from the developers of F1 games from Codemasters. So there you go. More promo stuff if you're just kind of waiting on making a decision. You'll hear more from their staff and their people on the Podium direct drive wheel. But no news on software, unfortunately. Just some cool shots here. We talked about Indy. So did you guys get down to the McLaren Shadow booth? I understand. I'm looking at pictures here. They had a whole competition going on, their esports team. So if you were there, who was there? I know I wasn't Ollie Pacolo there. Let's see who's in this photo. Is that Ollie Pacolo? That's Bono Hui. Isn't that Isaac? Anyway, there was a whole booth there, including their esports stars. Paul Stoker, I'm mid-conversation with those guys about a SimCube 2. It's in the works for sure. Let's see. This is Christian, the winner of the McLaren Shadow versus FA Racing Esport. It was Christian, Jamie, and Ollie was the finishing order. There's Bono in the background. Some cool pictures, though. So you guys could have met all these guys. They didn't promote this at all. All of a sudden, there's McLaren with the big competition there at the Indy 500. There's Bono Hui doing an interview of some sort. There's Ollie. So that was going on. Did you guys go? Did you see that? Did you meet any of those guys? I know at least 2 of you were there at Indy, but this was going on there simultaneously. Matt Malone on the far right. I lost it. All right, also this weekend was NASCAR Heat. Their Pro League kicked off. Lots of cool stuff going on with that. You know, this is one of the biggest esport competitions in sim racing. And we can sit here and we could clown Heat 3. And I'm not going to do that today because right now we're going to embrace what they're doing and the fact that they are getting the word out there. They're getting esport exposure. They're getting sim racing exposure. And they might be getting the most eyes on them of any other one going on. This might be the ones being seen. You know, so it's a big deal. Anyway, here is the inaugural drivers. This would have been one of the 2 heats. I'm not sure if that was the PlayStation or Xbox group. But there's a photo of the whole group. In addition to that, David Hoots returns to race control to call the NASCAR race. So David Hoots, who was formerly from Real Life NASCAR as a race director, jumps into that role for the NASCAR Heat Pro League to oversee the event. And then there was this video. And this was a video by Austin Oganowski. I haven't watched the whole thing, but just from what I've seen and heard, I think it was just a little bit of having fun with what was going on. But again, this was a big deal going on. NASCAR Heat. Getting it done. The reason I say that there's some comical music going on, I just don't like the size of the races. It just doesn't look very real. Anyway, there you go. That went on this weekend as well. Article here at Esport Observer, in the sim driver's seat with NASCAR and iRacing. And this is a really cool article because what it goes on is talk about is how every single sport has a sanction, like there's a EA NBA basketball, a EA NFL football, EA Major League Baseball, EA Premier League Soccer, EA, name your pro sport, they all have a sanctioned game in gaming. But not all of them have proper esports attached to them. They're trying, but they're a little behind on the game. It's been the shooter games, it's been the action games that have led the way in the esport world. And now we are starting to see pro leagues of football, baseball, soccer, all these things getting involved and getting teams together, but they're as late on the game as sim racing is, even though we've been doing it secretly for a long time already. But this is a great article talking about how racing has a firm spot in esport. They talk about William Byron, who went from being an iRacing driver to, started from the pole for the Daytona 500. So cool article and write up there at Esport Observer, giving sim racing some of the credit that we are due. I truly believe we are due that credit. What else? Some video here. This is at YouTube. You'll find it WRC8. So, we talk Dirt Rally. We talk it all the time. And the next installment of a dirt or a rally-focused game is going to be WRC8. And this is here at the Argentina rally, some gameplay of the beta version. So this is, I'm going to be looking forward to comparing the two, that's for sure. I haven't played enough Dirt Rally, but it will be interesting to see, especially the public opinion on things like force feedback and all the other factors that we hold them critical when it comes to. It looks like a very, very narrow track, I will say, this Argentina. It looks cool, though, definitely. Here's what I'm very excited about. You guys know about this, but anyway, this is FIA, European Truck Racing. This is going to be from Big Ben, right? Isn't that who's doing this one, if I'm not mistaken? I'm looking for a name, but my eyes are failing me. But Big Rig Racing. We saw a little sneak peek of that coming from Automobilista too, though, didn't we? But this will be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be like Wreckfest Racing, I think, to an extent. Because it's going to be kind of hard to not do some bumping and banging in the big trucks. But European Truck Racing coming all platforms in July. So that's coming up pretty darn quick, I got to say. And that'll be good. What else? Oh yeah, I had a bigger video. Same video, just I had clicked to the actual video on YouTube versus just the story. What else? A few more things to talk about. Give credit where credit is due. Australian Daniel Shields claims the Auckland Esport title. We talked about all the esport that's going on independent to the Australia region. There are a few of them going on, but this is speeding around Bathurst Mount Panorama at 300 kilometers an hour. The track is a blur in the side mirrors of the leading car. Aussie driver Daniel Shields in a white and teal Ferrari 488 GT3 sped to the finish line. Anyway, this went on in Project Cars 2, and that was our big winner in the esport from down under. For you Bus Simulator fans, Bus Simulator 18 has some new DLC that expands it with two new towns. That's all I'm going to say about that. Dates. We now have dates for this year's ADAC, the ADAC I like to call it, Sim Racing Expo. This is going on, at Nürburgring every year. This is like the fourth year now? Fifth even? Going on from, let's see here, August 30th through September 1st. So it's only a 2-day show? I thought it was a little longer than that. August 30th through September 1st. Yep. Is there August 31st? Everyone do my calendar math for me really quick. That's a 3-day show. It'll be on the Ring Boulevard, and you will see a great cast of sim racing vendors, sim racing competitions, sim racing superstars. It's going to be quite the event. So, what else? This is cool. This is at Project Cars 2, or Project Cars eSport page. And this is the official eSport Racing Top 100. And this is cross-platform, so this is not like just coming out of that SMS series. But this is considering everybody in the world of eSport right now and who they are and what their ranking are. So I don't know all the criteria, but this is across the board. So let's go through the top 10, and let's talk about the top 10 best eSport drivers on the planet right now. in the atmosphere. They're all aliens. Top seed, Brendan Lay. Bam Lay. No doubt about it. Two-time champion in the F1 eSport series. one of the biggest money winners, I'm assuming, in sim racing so far. Definitely deserving a top spot. Martin Kroenke in the number 2 spot. He's defending 2 or 3-time champ in the world of iRacing, the VR in the endurance series. I'm sorry, not the endurance, the top series, whatever it is, whether it be Formula 1 or Porsche, whatever they make it. Number 3, Gregor Hutu. His last championship was in 2016. He's a runner-up in 2016. Last championship was 2015. So this is one of the old guards who still can win a race, who can still beat anybody on any given Sunday. But it's been a while since he won a championship, sitting in number 3. Igor Fraga of GT Sport, or Gran Turismo fame, sitting in number 4 spot. Ryan Lusa in number 5 of iRacing from the Peak Antifreeze. Mitchell de Jong. This is awesome. Mitchell de Jong in the number 6 spot. Real life rally car driver, rallycross driver. I don't think he has a ride right now with all the craziness going on in the world of rallycross in America, but he was the 2018 iRacing Grand Prix runner-up, VRS World Champ, and the iRacing World Champ in rallycross all simultaneously. Quite an impressive resume. Arlene Mallet, Lage, he goes by. We know him from the Logitech G2 Sport. G2 Lage, he goes by. Whoops, I didn't mean to turn down the news. I meant to disclaim my ruining of his name. But Forza champion is where his real claim to fame is. Ray Alfalla, you know this guy, 4 or 5-time defending champ in the Peak Antifreeze. Listen to these names. I've been saying it for years. We're going to start wearing the jerseys of some of these guys. You're going to go to an event, you're going to wear a Brendan Lay jersey to be a fan at the F1 Esport competition going on. Ray Alfalla, though, well-deserving in that top 10 group. James Baldwin, A1 Esport League Austria Rallycross runner-up, E-Rock 2019 winner. And then, of course, Michael Conti rounding out the top 10. So, a few guys, like Bono Hui, I see him down in the 12th spot. He might be the most money-winning driver ever, maybe a little higher price being deserved by him. Enzo Benito all the way down in 19th position. He might be a little more famous. Now, how far down the list do we have to go to find an Olli Pakala? I'm seeing a lot of my good friends on this list as I go through it, but Olli Pakala in 43rd position. And what I'm going to give Olli Pakala credit for, Shaun is missing from that list. We have to, it's only a top 100 list. It would have to go down to like top 900 for me to be on the list. Olli Pakala in 43rd might be one of the most famous sim racers in the world. Most recognizable sim racers. And when we're talking about how do you get a pro ride, how do you get into the limelight of the world, well, personality goes a long way. Olli Pakala, I dare say, if I were to put a picture of Martin Kroenke and Olli Pakala, I'm going to guess that more of you are going to know Olli than Martin Kroenke, who's number 2 on the list. But that's because Martin Kroenke is a little more secretive about his life. He's not out there doing a lot of videos saying, hey, look at me. Not taking a job at Fanatec, being part of the community like that. And I'm not taking any shots at Martin Kroenke. He is a god of gods. However, Olli Pakala does a great job for being number 43 on the list of being what you would assume would be probably on a lot of people's top 10 list just by name recognition alone. Grant's now upgrading his pedals. Awesome, awesome. All right, a couple of rigs to look at, and then some personal business, and then we'll close up today's show. Excuse me, I still have congestion. Still haven't been able to quite break all the congestion out of my chest. Feeling 100%, just have this like lagging phlegm that won't disappear. Excuse me with that. All right, couple rigs to look at. This one here isn't so much looking at the rig as much as the story. This is posted by SoCal TR F1. My friend's son built this frame for my son. My son has a plastic anemia and he's pretty much confined to the house until we go back to the hospital for his chemo and bone marrow transplant. Been out of school for 2 months and won't return for a year. Terrible, terrible story. But here's the great thing. Look at the smile on his face. But another good distraction for my son. Great work. And this touched me, I have to say. That's one of the great things about sim racing. It allows us a different world to go into. It allows us a distraction from life. And, life can be great and life can be tragic. But having an escape, having a hobby, having something else to focus your effort on is a reason to live, I'll dare say. I mean, like, they talk about giving older people like a dog as a companion because it'll make them live longer. Having something that inspires you, something that distracts you from the hardships of life will go a long way. So that's my pat on the back to SoCal TRF for taking care of that guy and making sure that he's distracted from what's not going great in his life. So, yeah, quality socks there. Great looking rig. Anybody know what this rig is? This is a scratch build, or have I missed what is one of the cooler looking rigs out there? This is posted by the Silly Lion just yesterday on Reddit. Finally got the rig more or less finished. Very cozy cockpit. And I'm looking at this design. I really like this design. It looks actually quite stable. It also looks kind of like, I like the way it looks sort of like a race car roll bar type of a feeling to it, which I kind of dig. So that's kind of cool. And then finally, this was also at Indy. Did you guys go to the Firestone area? They had these rigs set up running the Indy 500. Not sure what sim. You guys would be able to tell me. That looks like Project Cars. That is Project Cars. So running Project Cars in these Firestone rigs with, I can't quite figure out what wheel they're using. I'd love to know if you guys were there. Did you guys get to that booth? So that was kind of cool. And we already talked about that. So then the last thing out there is one last warning. So the Simpit Mock Shaun contest is still on. Friday is the official deadline. I've got some more great entries that came in. So we've got a great amount of entries that kind of inspired this contest. And then the new entries that we're all going to vote on. And whatever the winning, Make It Fro, please don't vote for Make It Fro. Whatever the winning entry is, I'm going to print that t-shirt and wear it for an entire month. The wheel stand looks like the Feel VR wheel. Yes, it did, Cranky Pants. It totally looked like one of those. Some of these were done by me. Like that one there was actually a graphic for a show, but it was sort of in the same theme. There have been a variety of these mock Shaun. Some have just been putting my face in the random areas, like here I am behind Jackie Stewart and Emerson Fittipaldi having a conversation. Here I am getting up. It shows my age. There I am in my youth getting ready for a race in 1938. Anyway, everything is possible. Lots of cool entries that have been coming in. We are going to vote, and I am going to print that t-shirt and wear it for the entire month. So have fun at it. I have thick skin. Just keep it PG-13, so no actual vulgar language or nudity or any of that kind of stuff. But beyond that, I did that one. That's me and Jeff Gordon hanging out at Burning Man. I don't think that'll be a fair entry. May the force feedback be with you. I love it. So many quality efforts from you guys. You can see some of the new ones that have popped up. Been a lot of fun for me looking at the things. Can't wait to get the voting on. And Beyond the Sim to infinity and beyond the sim. I can't wait to do the voting and declare a winner. The winner is going to get a bunch of stuff from me. I'm going to be very grateful the time spent by anybody who did this. It doesn't take art talent. You saw some of those were kind of cheesy, but cheesy almost works if you know what I mean. But whoever wins is going to get a Simpit coffee mug, a Simpit t-shirt, mouse pad, hat, and sticker. Like the whole Simpit care package sent to you. In addition to that, the pride of making me wear whatever that mockery photo is for the entire month on the show. That should be good fun. So last chance to get your entries in this Friday. So you still have this week to get them in. Could be as simple as you need it to be. There's some if we go back to the slideshow, there's some very cheesy, it's not the best done art in the world, no offense, but that's kind of what makes some of these. I don't think that's an entry. That's actually a full year old for my 50th birthday over a year ago. Cole Trickle, obviously one of my favorites. I doubt I'll win the votes because I'd wear the shirt with too much pride. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's show. Happy Memorial once again. Thank you, military, for your service out there. Much appreciated. And everybody in the United States, enjoy your day off and get out there and do some racing. I have a quick meeting that I'm going to have. Then I'm actually going to do some Wreckfest. Today's about fun for me, too. Got some work to do, but I'm going to do some playing as well. But that's going to do it for today's show. This is the Simpit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I'll see you on the track.